Evening class, my name is Omar Gonzalez and my database presentation is SQLite. Launch date for SQLite are three. For the first version was released in May 2000, the second version was in September 2001, and the third version, last version, was in June 2004. This is timeline here. Like I said, it started in August 2000 with the first version. Eventually, they released a second version, a third version, and the last version is still in version 3, but it's 3.30.1, which was released last month, and is projected to be supported until 2050. Just to mention that version 4 was active in between 2012 and 2014, but was never released because it was just an experiment. Anything or everything learned from the experiment was put on version 3. That's why version 3 has been on the market for a while. Background. The SQLite designer name is Dwayne Richard Hipp. He's the person who actually implemented SQLite back in the 90s, and he also founded a company called Watchi, which stands for Hip for his last name, Wyrick, his wife, which also works in the company, and is located in North Carolina. It was founded in 1992 and is financially supported by a consortium. The SQLite, the clientele are mobile devices, Internet of Things, game consoles, small devices like automobiles that have like a smart component and requires a database can use SQLite. Also, low to medium websites can use SQLite, SQLite databases. Well-known companies such as Apple, Google, Adobe, McAfee, Microsoft use SQLite. The applications that use SQLite are many. Some of them are like Dropbox, Skype, Google Chrome, Firefox. The SQLite, um, the type of database for SQLite, I can say is two. The end user, because the SQLite database is stored locally. In other words, the application execute SQLite commands uh, directly to the database. Okay, so everything is in the same device, and it can also be used on distributed databases because distributed databases need like a cache database on target machines. So SQLite can be a cache database and support distributed. The database model is SQLite is a relational database because it uses tables, view, indexes, and as well relationship for those tables. It's pretty much similar like the Oracle database model. The accessibility is in-house installation. What I mean is that the SQLite must be installed where the application is going to be like the same machine. We have the SQLite database and the application. That's why it doesn't need a server or a database administrator, and it can run pretty fast. The pricing, it's open source but no open contribution. What that means is unknown persons cannot contribute with upgrades or patches. It's only open source. It has technical support, but they are not free. They are between $1,500 to $85,000 per year. Also, some companies would like to have like a license on agree or something that prove they have the right to use SQLite. That's for that is $6,000 and it's one-time fee. Also, SQLite has has an encryption extension, but this one is not free. It's like a $2,000 one-time fee. Okay, the data storage. The data storage, the capacity is 140 terabytes. All the data is stored in a single file. Here, SQLite uses a more general dynamic type system. In SQLite, the database of a value is associated with the value itself, not with a container. So it uses storage classes, which are more general than data type. And the values are, for example, uses blob, integer, text, real, numeric. Blob stands for binary large object, which it is for documents, images, or multimedia files. It also SQLite engines that use rigid typing will usually try to automatically convert values to the appropriate storage. Now, for example, here we have a table that have a integer, but it receives like a string. So we'll convert the string to the value. In this case, like 123, it will convert it to 123. No, and the other way around. It's a string. It will go from a string to an integer. That's something good on SQLite. Data uh, access language it uses regular SQL with certain omissions. Write and full outer joins are not implemented in SQLite, and the alter table command is limited. Um, for example, we can rename a table, we can add a column, but we cannot drop a column. If you want to drop a column, you will have to create a new table, move the data from the table you want that you're trying to alter to the new table, and then drop or delete the old table. Okay. Also, another way to manipulate or manage SQLite is through a DB browser. DB browser is maybe something similar to MySQL. It's like a graphical interface manager. Just to set up, all you got to do is put the SQLite executable in the target machine and run it. Very easy setup. Because it's lightweight, the data transfer is fast. So and it's cross platform as well. And like I say, it uses SQL commands. The data visualization and report features. Um, again, you can use the DB browser or SQLite Studio, which are like or SQLite managers in a graphical and friendly environment, and it allows you to create report like a spreadsheet like format, and also they allow you to plot simple graph using queries. Advantage and unique features. No configuration, zero configuration, so that's why it's easy. Future releases will have configurations, but not for right now. Maintenance, there is no need of maintenance. That's one of the best uniques, best features, because there's no server, there's no database administrator. It's very easy to manage SQLite. The data transfer format, because it's a cross-platform, and you can move the entire database from different systems types. It's fast, reliable, resilient. SQLite, because it's small, it allows you to have a very fast transactional SQLite transactions. SQL transactions, and reliable, resilient, because if the system takes an outage or crashes, you don't need to do any troubleshooting. Does SQLite have like a error-prone system in the background? So any SQL transaction, it will be saved and restarted once the system comes back. Drawback: SQLite has some drawbacks. It's not good for client-server network. It's not really meant for networking. It doesn't support high concurrency. What I mean is like multiple users trying to write to the to the database. It can handle like low to medium concurrency, because the write transactions are very fast, but no high concurrency. That's why also high volume websites cannot use it, just for only like low volume or like low traffic. And because of the data storage capacity, SQLite doesn't handle very large data. Also, because all the data is stored in a file, the file system won't handle that much data in the same file. Do you have any questions? Please.